Sorry, it is so warm in here. I'm going to stand just because I think I read better when I stand. Is that one of those weird things? Is that okay for the recording?
I can adjust, yeah.
Sorry about that. So I'm going to do this weird thing where I read one or two poems from my previous books, then I'll read a few poems from the new book. So I know some of you have heard some of these poems before. I apologize, but I just thought it's a nice way to kind of group the poems. So this first one is from my first book, which the name is Becoming the Villainess. Heat makes me spacey. All right, Becoming the Villainess, which is all about comic books and mythology and fairy tales. This is called Female Comic Book Superheroes. Female comic book superheroes are always fighting evil in a thong, pulsing techno soundtrack in the background as their tiny ankles thwack against the bulk of male thugs. With names like Buffy, Elektra, or Storm, they excel in code decryption, Egyptology, and pyrotechnics. They pout when tortured, but always escape just in time, still impeccable in lip gloss and pointy-toed boots to rescue male partners, love interests, or fathers. Impossible chests burst out of tight leather jackets from which they extract the hidden scroll or antidote, tousled hair covering one eye. They return to their day jobs as forensic pathologists, wearing their hair up, donning dainty glasses. Of all the goddesses, these pneumatic heroines most resemble Artemis with her miniskirts and crossbow, or Freya with her giant gray cats. Each has seen this apocalypse before. See her perfect three-point landing on top of the chariot, riding the silver moon into the horizon, city crumbling around her heels. So that's the first book. And the second book is called She Returns to the Floating World. It's got more of a Japanese anime theme, so from comic books to anime. And it's also, I did a lot of research on Japanese folk tales for it as well. This is called The Lost Limbs of Anime Girls in Space. Somehow in these futuristic worlds, we've always left an arm and a leg behind, as if these amputations make us seem more accessible, a portion of our torsos beneath the torn top visible, a glimpse of shining silver. Our hair still charmingly tousled, we are victims of some civil war or village atrocity conveniently unwritten, forgotten now, military campaigns hidden in our pasts. Only these reminders that we might not be entirely human, merely a ghost caught in a metal shell. She'll give you an arm and a leg, they joke, while we wake in the night to scratch phantom skin, the joint between flesh and machine always aching, our souls affixed in some permanent alchemy to this heavy metal. That is She Returns to the Floating World. And the next one is called Unexplained Fevers. It's all fairy tale poems. So this first one, a lot of Grimm's, is about advice. So this is an advice poem from Grimm's. I forgot to tell you the most important part. Without this knowledge, you'll never make it. It's 1 part fashion advice and 2 parts survivalism. Learn to talk to people so they think you're honest, but never be honest. Cooking eggs may save your life, so crack them neat and firm, pour into the skillet, stir gently. Forget about your shoes. People will judge you by your shine, the imminent light you offer them. Be a lamppost in the wilderness, be the elephant in the showroom. If you steal the idol, make sure to carry a weighted bag of sand. No surprises, we've lied about having it all. It's either the piano or the pit viper. Cinderella's shoe came off at midnight because it hurt. And Red Riding Hood's real story involves cannibalism and a striptease. Don't wear red lipstick. Don't you kiss your mother with that mouth? Long bangs hide a multitude of sins. Ask her grandmother about the herbs she used to swallow while pregnant. The butterflies here didn't start out black. They were white as onion skin, and the forest more ominous before the smokestacks. Well, here's your little basket and red coat. Sweetheart, sweet meat, smile like you mean it, shake what you've got while you've got it, go out into the world and knock them dead. So that is a little Grimm's, little Grimm's. This next poem involves heroin, the drug, which I do not write about often, because I've never taken it. But Sleeping Beauty, I've always loved that metaphor about the needle, so this is Sleeping Beauty as heroin addict. Sleeping Beauty loves the needle. No thread in your needle, just the spindling damselflies dart through the cracks in the ceiling. The bird at the window tells you to drop the gun, put on your nightgown and drown. This bird holds a branch of judgment and tells you you'll be the one standing with the sword when the stars rain down. She pressed her face to the pillow. She fell for the hired gun. She ended up hungry, an angel, her 2 white feet cold as her heart, while her pages all ran clean. No more time for kindling, sweetheart. Better make that fire sing. So here you go, a little heroine, because that is part of the fairy tale culture. No, so the next book is The Robot Scientist's Daughter, about growing up in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And some of the radioactive contamination that's gone on there. My father worked for ORNL, Oak Ridge National Labs, in robotics, in robotic cleanup of nuclear waste. So a few poems from that, and then we will get on to Kelly. Cesium burns blue. Copper burns green, sodium yellow, strontium red. Watch the flaming lights that blaze across your skies, America. There are burning satellites even now being swallowed by your horizon, the detritus of space programs, long defunct, the hollowed masterpieces of dead scientists. Someone is lying on a grassy hill, counting shooting stars, wondering what happens when they hit the ground. In my backyard in Oak Ridge, they lit cesium to measure the glow. Hold it in your hand, foxfire, wormwood, glowworm. Cesium lights the rain, absorbed in the skin, unstable, dancing away, ticking away in bones, fingernails, brain. Sick, burns through, burns blue. So that is all you need to know about cesium. It's not good. No, it's one of the major contaminants at Fukushima as well. So this is called The Robot Scientist's Daughter. So there's a recurring persona in the book called The Robot Scientist's Daughter. It's not exactly me because she does things like turns into spaceships and robots and such, which I have not figured out how to do yet. This is called The Robot Scientist's Daughter, a Medical Wonder. By the way, this is reminding me, I went to a church in the South, in Baptist church, where they didn't have air conditioning, so this is kind of reminding me. If we had a church program. The Robot Scientist's Daughter, a Medical Wonder. The robot scientist's daughter was a bit confused. She started down a road to medical wonder, sat under the machine's lights, then tiptoed off on a paper trail, looking for an island of cranes. She made 1,000 wishes. Still, she shed a blue glow, and everyone said how sickly. Her nails made of plastic and paper mache. Her heart's thump 3 times fast. Her 1 kidney curled inside her ribs, her blood trying to escape. Father, she screamed, but he couldn't save her. The robot scientist's daughter knew what she had to do. With her own 2 hands, she built a new body, one that worked better this time, silver and shiny and smooth as mirrored glass. After all, she'd been trained. It was no less than was expected. She crawled inside and adjusted the fit. This time, there will be no stopping her. The curves were all impenetrable, and the precision of each drum kit beat keeps her in line. She's a soldier, a savior, a ship to bear prisoners into space. So that is a little science fiction in the poetry there. So I journeyed down to LA and San Diego and Napa for a couple of years, and this was my poem about moving to California. The robot scientist's daughter journeys west. She's a bit of an alien here. Oh, this appeared in, she was the editor of LA Review. This is how we met. She's the editor of LA Review and accepted this poem many moons ago. But anyway, we met virtually, but then later we met in person. So. The robot scientist's daughter journeys west. She's a bit of an alien here in the land of tanned legs and blonde hair, beaches and bongo drums, but she waves with delight at the seagulls sunning themselves on the rocks. What a long journey, leaving skins and false limbs in her path, not in a covered wagon, but all the same she reins it in. Once over the mountains, she could see the flower fields on all sides, the winding, happy light on bare shoulders. So what if the crispy trees were devoured every so often by fire, or the hills slid down in the rain, if the earth rattled a little along fault lines? In a land of cartoon mice, you learn not to question. Besides, she felt she was born to Imagineer. The books are also clean here, hardly touched at all, and the air smells like funnel cake. Interesting side note, my apartment in Napa was split by an earthquake, and my apartment in San Diego burned down. You pay a price. Well, sunshine tax. This last poem is from the last book, and this is called A Morning of Sunflowers for Fukushima. 200,000 sunflowers drink the cesium from the grounds of the temple where they burn lanterns made from the names of the dead. This invisible snow, says the temple's monk, brings us a long winter. A village woman mourns the loss of her blueberries. In Chernobyl, they grew amaranthus, field mustard, sunflowers, but how to dispose of poison flowers in spring. We build lanterns, we plant seeds, we set things alight. Thank you. That was my super short, it's too hot version.